musicians and Mancaves. How do? Welcome to the podcast Musicians and Mancaves with Chris, Tom, Alex and me, Paul, otherwise known as Nottingham band Dread and Monkey. As the band is nearing its 10th anniversary, we decided we should do something completely different, talking crap for a change. We spend a third of our rehearsal each week talking anyway, so we thought, why not stick a mic in front of us and have a laugh? And all the ideas floating around in our four little hairy heads, and let's see where it takes us. So the idea is to pick 3 topics each week and ramble on. So sit back and relax. Welcome and enjoy Musicians and Mancaves. I'll let you introduce this one, dude, if you don't mind.
I haven't really got an introduction as such.
Well, just make it up, that's what I'm doing, day to day.
I'll wing it.
Next topic, podcast number 5. No, he's got it wrong again, it's podcast 6. Is media bull.
Yeah.
Explain your theories.
Okay, well, I've tweaked the title slightly to Media Hype / Media Bull, so that might explain it a bit more.
Just so I'm clear, we're on about media bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I was just making sure.
We're not talking about cows and calves and.
Yeah. No, I was just making sure because media bull, I was thinking, does that mean something that I don't know?
Media Hype.
I mean, we're not going to talk about social media. That's kind of another day, another topic.
Another separate big
this
issue.
is
Right, okay.
Literally newspapers.
Yeah. So we're on about tabloids and say BBC News and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, TV.
I'm going to drink a rum while you talk for a change.
Whatever.
Thomas, talk.
So I've got a few notes, not much. We need to see where this goes. But basically, it's how they can hype things up, or even to the point where it's twisted and it's not actually true, which apparently happens quite a lot.
Does this include fake news, or is that just social media?
Fake news has come about from Donald Trump coined the term, didn't he? I think.
That's more like social media.
More social media.
Oh, okay.
So we're not on about satire as such.
No, just basically.
Yeah, well, about stuff that's basically
news. If you like.
but it's a total lie.
It can be.
Yeah.
I think your fake news has still existed in the tabloids, in some tabloids probably.
Yeah.
But in other more responsible ones, probably not.
Have you got any what do you call it?
Examples.
Any examples of what you mean?
There was one in the Sun. There was a post I saw on a particular social media site which showed a caption from the Sun in very, very small print about a correction to a story about something to do with refugees, where they basically added a couple of zeros onto the actual migrant number. Yeah. And the Sun are renowned for doing things like that, let's be fair. You know, it's got the reading age of 7, so it's not exactly the brightest paper. So,
yeah.
What I've got down here is the reasoning for why they do it, because to some people, to me, it's like just infuriating, really, because you think, why are you doing that? Why are you twisting things?
Sells papers.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one. But the other thing is what I've got down here is they can. One of the things is they can start a trend just by calling it a trend. If you know what I mean. If they put that in their headline, there's this new trend or whatever it might be, people think, because they're reading that, they think it is already a trend where it's not.
What? So if I start my own newspaper and said there's a trend among young men of how many bobs they can wrap around their penis, people might start thinking, oh, this is a good idea, I'll have a go and post it.
Exactly.
Is it
exactly
kind of
You're not kidding me.
If they use the word, there's
stupid.
key words they can use. So trend is one.
There's
Evidence to suggest there is a new trend, whereas really it's bullshit. There's no trend at all, but they put that word in. It's just one word. The twist is not a complete lie, but it's exaggerating.
It suggests.
They've heard a little story that maybe 10 people are doing something crazy. Right.
Is this like what happened with universities and people drinking bleach and drinking stuff?
That
Was
might
that
be one.
Was that one that triggered it?
So that escalates into a trend.
It's almost like Chinese whispers in a sense.
They can use specific words
because that
for their
was
own
freaky, wasn't it? What happened with that?
It was
just
tablets, wasn't it? Washing tablets.
No, it was all sorts of like drinking bleach. It was dairy. It was basically daring people.
Thinners and all sorts. You see, what amazes me is
people are thick.
Is that how stupid the British public are?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to read you a few quotes now from a long
brilliant.
time.
Okay, I'll enjoy this.
Yeah. Well, they're not quotes as in these are quotes from a guy, a journalist, which was he was a military intelligence specialist during World War One. So this is a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
But this goes back to when this guy saw that this was happening even back then. So you could think about propaganda.
I was just
during
about
the
to
war.
say, so we're going on to
Similar thing, although that's a lot more serious, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's been used in the media.
Was this in a newspaper then that this came out? Or?
So this thing I'm about to read you was just. Let me go on to read it.
I mean, which way was it broadcasted? Was it through media or radio or?
I think it was started off back then. It would be radio wireless, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
During even way back in World War One or whatever.
Go on,
Yeah.
Continue, Eduard. Yes,
Obviously
go.
newspapers, but a similar, the same principle applies to now, even if it's social media and it's instant.
I think it was
It's the
more
same
believable then though, because there was
Yeah.
only like one
Yeah.
class of media really. It was either radio or newspapers.
Oh yeah, newspaper. Yeah.
Nowadays it's just saturated
Yeah.
and just there's too much information.
So people are inclined to believe what they read or what they hear in general. That's just a trait of a human, because your first instinct is to believe it, or to give it your time, let's say. So I've got a quote here from this guy. He was a military intelligence specialist during World War One, propagandist, political scientist, author, and advisor to the president. So that's quite key. So he advised the presidents during the war. So he made an observation, and this is down in his book. This book he wrote a long time ago. So every newspaper, when it reaches the reader, is a result of a whole series of selections. By that, he means using the word trend in the headline, like I just said.
What, even back to World War One times?
Yeah, this
that's
guy
what they're
wrote a
using?
book, and he was a journalist during World War One, and probably way after that.
Okay.
So he's wrote a book about what actually journalists do, what newspapers might do, etc. So they
To
use
influence people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to their own end or whatever. So they use a series of selections. This is what he said. So maybe certain words, in order that the reader shall enter. He must find a familiar foothold in the story. So I think that what means is something they can relate to.
Yes. Yeah. I remember covering
Whoever's
this in
reading
school.
it.
Yeah.
So you might have a specific type of reader, and you want your readers to relate to the story.
Okay.
So if the Sun are writing the story, they're going to want their readers to relate to it and latch onto it. So they're going to they tweak it to appeal to their readers.
Yeah, to their
even
particular
if they tweak the
audience.
story, but it's going to be different to what the Times have
Yeah.
written,
Or the Daily Mail.
or
Yeah.
the Daily Mail, because they have a certain type of reader.
A
Do
certain,
you think this is
certain
just to gain?
demographic, Yeah.
Is this just to gain popularity, or is it to gain money?
It's basically to get them to
sell
buy the
papers.
paper, and
Yeah.
that's
What
to
if
that
it's
end. Isn't
if
it?
it's put on radio? What is the point of it?
I'm talking more about newspapers in this
Oh, okay.
situation, probably.
Carry on.
And,
Yeah, because obviously they're technically in competition, aren't there? There's not many people who buy numerous papers.
yeah, generally they're looking at a specific group or whatever.
Mm.
So, what does it go on to say? So they use stereotypes to get to that sort of, to get to the reader, if you like, and that again appeals to their type of reader they're going to be reading it. I didn't quite. I'm going to skip this next bit because I didn't quite understand it. It's very old, but so if you go into a story and let's say they call it a group of leading businessmen, and the cue is then to give the reader a favourable reaction to those people, because you've said they're a group of leading businessmen, right? That sounds good, doesn't it?
Mm.
That's a positive
Well, you
thing.
think, are you going to believe what they say?
So you're going to think, yeah, you're going to believe what they say. So it's a combination of those things that gives the power to the tabloid or to the newspaper, gives them the power to get people
Yeah.
to read their stories. And he went on to say...
Is there a particular quote then that this guy came up with, or?
Some of those are exact quotes from his book.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's one there, but I don't understand what it means.
So is this guy basically getting at what you can use certain words and certain phrases that you can basically be suggestive in what you say and tailor it towards your specific audience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tailor
It's almost
it
like
to-
keywords that
Yeah.
crop up.
Yeah,
that-
that's what he's basically
yeah,
saying.
it's quite clever
Which they
writing.
still do to this day, like to start a trend.
Well, it's all psychology, isn't it? You know, if something is suggested to you, like, so let's say for example, I kept suggesting, you didn't know anything about this, but I kept suggesting to you that, I don't know, Hitler's still alive.
Mm.
But I kept suggesting it in different ways, and I started saying, well, Dr. So-and-so, who's a credible source from the Natural History Museum based in...
So you're going to believe him because
you start using, PhD Dr. So-and-so with letters after his name.
But Elvis still works at the Chippy down the road. I mean, that always comes up, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah.
it's like that Lord, was it Lord Lucan or whatever, that so many years ago that somebody said they saw him. I don't know the full story, but
I don't know about that one.
yeah, well,
But
we'll come back to that.
thing.
I'll try and drop in on an audio clip with that, what the actual details were. Actually, the story of Lord Lucan was actually in 1974. He killed his family nanny, then attacked his wife, leaving her for dead. He then disappeared without a trace, and numerous claims that he is still alive, and numerous sightings around the globe, allegedly. But yeah, that was cropped up. It's a very famous figure. Yeah, carry on.
Well, I've got another quote which might make a bit more sense. This is what we're getting at. So this is a quote from journalist Sheila Gribben. I can't say her last name. It's a weird last name. Leah Orgaminis or something. Anyway.
Just call her Phyllis for now.
Yeah, Sheila.
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 So she's saying, the manipulation of public opinion is of great importance to both the government and the media. And it takes on added urgency in the months before an election. So you can see that. I think another thing I went on to read is about politicians using the media.
That's the biggest spin on everything.
Yeah, of course.
politicians.
You've got different tactics. Say for, well, obviously we'll fall back into Brexit because it's such a big topic. But yeah, there's a lot of scaremongering stuff from the pro-Brexit side, as well as the, you've got the Leave campaign, and we'll call it the Stay campaign or whatever.
Remain, won't it?
Yeah, sorry, Remain. But you've got a lot of scaremongering from both sides.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is that when you're not particularly informed, it's basically whoever makes it sound the most believable that this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And for most of us, of course myself included, none of us really know what's going to happen. But whoever spins the best story of saying this is, and whichever one seems more believable, you're probably going to lean towards.
Yeah, I think that was massively in Brexit, isn't it? When you think about the amount of information that was readily available to people, it was really
there was nothing with any actual teeth to it. It was all fluffed up, going, well, we think this might happen. And when you say we think or evidence suggests, it gives you a get out of jail free card straight away.
Well, I think most people voted to leave because they thought of the immigration.
Yeah.
That was what led it.
And that is a very small reflection on the actual impact that this is going to have for the country.
Yeah.
No one.
Very
Billy Joe Public sat down in the local pub, builder who's been out on a 14-hour shift drinking his pint. He's not going to be thinking, oh, what about the taxation of this and that? How are we going to import this? No one's going to think about that. Think of, oh, I don't like that foreign family at the bottom of the road. Well, if we do Brexit, we'll be kicking them out. And there's a much bigger thing. But of course,
bigger picture.
And what the Leave campaign did was they levered heavily on the immigration side. They're not going to say. They're not going to say anything about, oh, it's going to make export deals a bit risky, or no, importing is going to put the price up of everything.
In other words, they didn't think it through.
No.
Is what this
No.
is. It was a rush job, wasn't it?
Of course it was.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, it took 2 years to get into the deal. It comes out next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think it's what we're on now, December the 8th, 2018. It's supposed to be next Tuesday, the 11th. I think it's due to kind of be final again.
If it gets passed through, it might get
Exactly.
win.
And they voted again in the House of Commons or whatever, didn't they? And it's been voted against.
Have you ever watched the
Legal.
House of Commons?
They want to stay.
I was just going to say
It's
that.
just like watching children
PM
going in
unruly
sorts of-
children in
Yeah,
the classroom.
They're screaming at each other. Yeah.
Prime Minister's questions, PMQs as they call it, it's just a joke sometimes.
Oh,
It's a good thing we've got it in this country that you can listen to it on radio,
Yeah.
5 Live or whatever live,
Yeah.
and probably BBC.
Do you think
News
they're playing
Channel.
up to the cameras a little bit, though?
Of course
'Cause
it is.
It is all televised, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most of it.
It's
all
on BBC News Channel. I think, or
24
whatever.
hours a day, yeah. Tom, you were going to say something earlier on, but I think you've been
I've totally forgotten. Like 5
go
minutes
back to
ago.
sleep.
Yeah, will do.
What I hate though about this, it's not really. It's going off topic a little bit, to be fair.
Well, I've got a little
that.
thing to bring us back in. I've just thought of. So
Okay.
you carry on for a minute. and
I'll
jump
go
in.
on my rant then for a minute.
Yeah, go on your rant, dude.
I think you're
I'll have a
due one.
run.
I've had mine.
I want to rant about this because it really gets my goat.
It's your topic. Go for it.
Yeah. So it's a little bit off topic, but I listened to Prime Minister's questions the other day when I was at work, and I don't normally listen to it, but it was all this Brexit thing. I think I want to try and listen to some of it to understand what's going on. Because I listened to it before we came up to the vote for Brexit. I was trying to listen to the radio, because I can listen to the radio while I work. I was trying to look at that. Couldn't really watch the news when I got home, so I was just sort of listening to the radio. And all you seem to get is really shallow. I think that's the right word. And this is what really annoys me about this country sometimes.
Well, I mean, there's no depth.
There's no straight answer. There's no straight answer to
Even
anything.
on a really
Serious
important
topic.
sort of, sorry, keep hitting the mic.
You're gonna have loads of peaks in this audio clip tomorrow.
But even in such an important subject, and on a respectable radio channel, BBC Radio 5 Live, which is all sort of news related all day and talking, and it's generally good. That's fine, but they skim over topics to me, which really annoys me. So they'll talk about something for sort of 5-10 minutes, get an expert on, but they never really get into the subject, and then they move on to something else.
Classic politicians, they never answer yes or no.
And that's what that's what happens in Prime Minister's questions.
It's just clever working around words. That's all it is.
It's slopey shoulders, isn't it?
But they don't actually answer anything.
No, of course they don't. No.
So how can we all make our minds up about Brexit? Unless you've got all the time in the world to read all the papers and the things they publish that are hundreds of pages long.
Yeah.
How can we make our minds up? Because all you get is the Prime Minister saying this, saying one thing. Fair enough. Theresa May at the minute, she's stuck to her guns. She's trying to deliver Brexit, which we all voted for, or 51% voted for, whatever.
Yeah.
Fair enough. She's doing a job that we asked her to do. But all you get from the other side is like abuse.
Yeah.
And then she has to just answer the same old rhetoric all the time.
Yeah.
And you just get abuse between the two parties because they're against each other. And that doesn't create... For one, we don't hear the true story, I don't think. Because one's got one agenda, the other party's got their other agenda.
That's why nothing in this country gets done, because there's so many people arguing.
Yeah.
Whereas they don't.
I mean, for me, with Brexit, sorry to put in there, but on the Brexit thing, I think we should have been made to coalesce all the parties together.
Coalesce?
To bring together.
That's a good word.
Coalesce. To bring all the parties together to deliver a Brexit for everybody.
Yeah.
Because this is going to affect everyone massively.
Of course it is.
We didn't vote for the Conservatives during Brexit. We didn't vote for the Lib Dems, for anyone listening abroad, some of our political parties. We voted for Brexit, no matter who was in charge.
Yeah.
Brexit being Britain exiting
To leave
Europe, the EU.
The EU, European Union. So
I think everybody in the world knows about it.
They should all be working to deliver Brexit, in my opinion.
It's going to affect them all.
Well, yeah, that's it. It's going to affect
not just the one in charge.
That's right. They've all got to do it. Even if another party gets in power, they've got the... In theory,
It's got huge implications though, because there's so many exporting, importing, all that, and nobody really knows what it's going to do.
This is what I was saying. You know, people they say the Leave campaign used the scaremongery, and the whole we're going to put this wall up, blah blah blah. But I think another problem that Theresa May's facing. Obviously, I'm not massively political. I follow it a little bit, but she's got a bloody difficult job, because I don't think when they actually put this up for a vote, anyone actually thought we were going to leave.
I agree.
And I think when this happened, it was one of those.
I don't think even she knew we were going to leave.
No, she didn't. She
well,
didn't believe
it was Cameron that put up the vote, wasn't it?
Wasn't she on the stay team to start with?
She was. She wants to remain.
Yeah, this is why it's also topical at the minute.
But Labour are now using that against her, because she originally was a Remain, as David Cameron was.
Yeah.
But she's having to deliver to leave. But that's her job.
Yeah.
She's the one who's got to do it.
She's got to stick by her guns now.
Don't get me wrong.
I
mean, David Cameron pulled a bit of a fast one, didn't he? Really? Yeah. He set all this up to run it all.
Well,
somebody
it
laughing
backfired,
in the
didn't it?
background.
Yeah, of course it did, because he obviously set all this up, but then as soon as the gears had to start turning, he just went, right, see you, someone else's problem, turned over, bye bye.
You realise what was happening.
With that.
Yeah.
I think
he should have had to pilot that.
Yeah. Even though he didn't get the result that he originally believed in, which was to remain.
Yeah.
He was Prime Minister. I think he should have stayed and delivered the Brexit.
That's it. It was one of those where you've made your bed, you should sleep in this.
You've got to deliver what the public want to a certain extent.
That's your job. You represent the public's interest. That's your job.
And the majority voted to leave, so you're the guy.
Regardless of what you want, that's what the British public want. You're going to have to do what you do. What you think, when I was working for someone, I wanted to do certain jobs. No, I didn't, but that was my job.
Can anybody actually remember the actual figures of, wasn't it something like 51 to...
Extremely.
It was very close. It was very close.
Yeah, it was very, very close.
So it's all a bit iffy, isn't it? I mean, if it was like 90% versus 10, I think it'd
Yeah.
there'd
be a bit easier, but
argument.
no, exactly.
Ever since it
this is
happened
why.
from day one, people have been saying we should have another vote. It was too
It should
close.
be best of
it was
3.
all-
It's just like
No,
best
I
of 3.
think I think they should have another one because I genuinely think.
Now people have got the
Yeah,
facts.
that's it. Now people
people know
are actually
more.
starting to see the implications of what's been put into motion. Now, I'll be totally honest with you. Initially, I was kind of, we'll vote leave, or I'll vote leave. And it was literally the last minute, something my dad said to me about, it was something along the lines of, we know what we've got right now, we don't know what's going to happen.
I think people just want the grass is always greener type
That's
thing.
it.
I think that's why people did it. Just for
if we
shock
had
value
another
almost.
vote, we'd remain.
I think
we
we would.
would.
It would be a massive,
think
like
that-
80-20 remain or
Yeah.
something like
Now
that.
we've seen what the trouble it's causing. I think
Yeah.
this is. I mean, are we going to have another vote though?
I don't
think
think
that's
the
what
EU
they're
would
trying
let us,
to do.
would they?
I don't know. They voted in the House of Commons again, so.
Yeah, so maybe it will be another public vote. Like I
think
say,
there
I changed
can
my
be.
mind at the last minute.
So,
I did. I'd changed my mind
I mean,
several times.
go around the table
That's
now,
right.
Chris. What would your answer be now?
I think now
See-
I'd probably go Remain, but I'd want to still
I
try
think
and
that's
look
the
into it
point.
more.
A lot of people still don't know,
But-
and I think we were pushed into the vote.
I can sort of see. I have this argument with a guy at work who you know, Paul, who's strongly Remain, and fair play to him, and he knows quite a lot about it compared to sort of most people. He's sort of looked into it. He seems to know his stuff, and he's strongly Remain. But I try to explain to him what.
Just like Alex, who
Sorry,
could his
chaps.
easy in the
Chuff.
I was going down there, so Sonia won't look at.
scared of her.
Edit that
I am
out.
as well. No, but
Yeah,
I,
so
go on. I was just going to say that I think if you don't know enough facts, which a lot of people don't because we're so confused, then
yeah.
I'm not going to vote. I didn't vote because I don't know one way or the other. It's like, do I want to buy a red car? Do I want to buy a blue car? Easy. It's either red or blue. But if you're going to say, do we remain or do we leave?
It's if there's two magic boxes, same as a car in here. Which
I don't
one do you
think
want?
there's a
You're
yes or
like,
no
I ain't
answer.
got a clue.
I really don't.
No,
I think it should
well,
be
there
left
isn't.
to professionals to decide. Personally,
Yeah, probably
because people are
because-
voting because it's an immigration thing. That's why
yeah.
they've done it.
Largely it was a scaremongery vote. But at the
I'm
same
not
time,
political, so.
I said to this guy at work who strongly Remain, I said, put yourself in the people. I think the people that strongly came out to vote were people that perhaps wouldn't normally vote anyway. But I said, there's certain areas of the country in the UK, probably in England in particular, parts of the south coast, parts of the east coast, where they get a lot of immigrants trying to get in
Because they're on the coast. Yeah.
which is, I'm not talking about immigration specifically or those, but we can all understand the plight of the people trying to get in here. They've got a terrible life, whatever it might be. I'm not going into that. But for the towns and the little towns and areas on the coast of the UK where these people are trying to get in, and they're getting in, and they're illegally working in those areas, you've got to put yourself in the shoes of those guys, those people that have lived in there, for, like their families have lived there for years, and they're suddenly
Generations,
bombarded with a lot of
They're
people.
scared, yeah.
Don't matter where they're from, don't matter their plight. I'm not talking about that. But you hit that many people in an area so quickly, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but you can't cope with it. The services in that area.
You're on about like saturation.
Kind of, yeah. The services, the NHS.
It's crippling, yeah.
Well,
they're
housing.
they're not designed to deal with an influx from a population going from, say, 100,000 to 700,000 in the space of 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
The
That's
classic
my
one
point.
of that, I've actually got figures, well, not exact figures, but when I worked in Hucknall, there was a lot of immigrants coming in from basically like army camps and stuff like that. Right. They were all coming in from
You
there.
worked at a doctor's surgery.
Doctor's surgery, so we got the figures of population increasing. It increased by, I think it was 10% within 6 months. Of 10%. The amount of people coming into Hucknall, yeah.
And there's
because
quite a decent population there already.
I mean, they were immigrants that were coming in. Mainly, I mean, I don't want to like single people out.
It doesn't matter where they're from, does it?
Eastern European. Yeah. It was mainly Eastern European coming in. And 10% increase. I think it was something like 29,000 lived in this particular town at the time. And then it went up to 34,000 within 6 months.
That's a big jump.
And that's why they're building all the houses. I don't know if you've ever been through.
Yeah, no, it's changed massively, hasn't it?
It's
yeah.
terrible. There's 4 doctors there, and it increased, I think, by 2,000 patients in this particular surgery.
This is the problem
6 months.
we've got. Fundamentally, this guy at work I was telling you about, a great guy, but he lives out in a nice country
Rural,
sort of
yeah.
rural location in Derbyshire, really nice house. And he's a great guy, don't get me wrong. But he doesn't live in those areas where they're struggling to get a doctor for 3 to 4 weeks at a time because
Mental. Yeah.
you can't improve the infrastructure. That was the word I was looking for.
You just beat me to
So
it.
that
I was
is
about to
the
go into the infrastructure.
That was the word.
The infrastructure of that surrounding area, you're not going to get it everywhere. He's not getting immigrants largely where he lives
No.
because there's not a lot of work there.
It's only going to grow as well.
Yeah, but you've
'Cause
got to control
they have
it.
children.
I'm not saying I've got a problem with immigration. That's another issue, really. What I have got a problem with it is not controlling those numbers that are coming in. You can't just let so many people in and expect things to be
It's
okay.
consolidating all in one area. That's the problem. It's not kind
and
of
I can
spreading
understand
them out, as it were.
why people that are feeling that effect and they're seeing it, because we've all seen it.
Yeah.
The amount of people that are coming to this, I ain't got a problem with them coming in, not at all. But the amount of people coming in, yes, I've got a problem with that.
This island
Because
We're not
is
big
not
enough.
big enough.
no, there's a lot of people on this island. Yeah.
I think there was, when I first started work 23 years ago, I think there was like 60 million in this country.
Was it
in
now
the UK.
76 or something?
72, I think. Ish.
I thought
72,
it was
73.
76.
It might be 76, but it's definitely increased by
Yeah,
10,
a lot.
15%.
It's a bit like if you think of a water pipe, right? Let's say we've got a set of water pipes, okay? From one end of this pipe to the other, it's designed to move 10 litres. Okay?
Stop tapping the table.
Oh, sorry. So let's say it's designed. I'm like
Yeah,
I'm like a
waving
bloody
hands.
Italian. I swing my hands about, but so
That'll be edited.
oh, okay.
Pizza.
So
Pasta.
so you've got a pipe that's designed to move at a normal machinery capacity, 60%, yeah, which is what most machines like, 10 litres per minute. Okay, you can increase that to maybe 14 and it will cope with it, but it's pushing it.
Yeah.
If you suddenly try and run through 16, it can't do it.
The pressure builds.
That's it, and eventually something's going to split,
Something
and that's
yeah.
exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. We've got an NHS. My sister works at NHS down in London,
Yeah.
and
It was classic A&E, 4 hours waiting
Yeah,
time.
that's
They
it.
just cannot cope with it, especially in winter.
Yeah.
God knows what's going
and
to
then
happen this
what's
winter.
happening is as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we pay taxes. Obviously, there's people getting help that weren't here before, but they instantly get help, and that costs money. That money's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
I just think there's got to be some kind of vetting service. You know, like
Bit
if you
like
go to
what they do in
Australia,
Australia
or New
or
Zealand,
New Zealand, yeah.
you've got to have a trade,
rather
they've got to have
exclude
so much money in the bank or
And there's a
whatever it is.
reason for that. The reason for that is what people never sort of. What annoys me is you never hear this word. It's all about economy and what sort of growth of the economy.
Yes.
Who gives a shit about growth of the economy when you grow the economy too quickly?
Exactly.
Your quality of life
Drops.
goes down.
Yeah, and this is what happened
You bring
with
in
the
too
crash.
many people too quickly, your quality of life goes down. You've got to control it.
This
What
is what happened-
about quality of life?
It's all about the ratio of growth and inflation. So it's a bit like I was looking on a welders forum from about 15 years ago, and this is a really good example, I think. In 2003, there were welders. This is 15 years ago. Are on the same money, if not slightly more, than what the average welder is on now.
I think we brought this up on another podcast.
So it's all.
It's true. Yeah.
So
Figures.
everything's getting
That's
more
crazy.
expensive.
But as I was going to say, I think what happened in 2008 with the economy crash
Yes. Yeah.
was because when we bought our first house, it was like ridiculously cheap, and then everybody went mad, and because the economy was so good, people were buying blah blah blah, and then the interest rates went up,
Yeah.
and then everybody started to get ridiculous
Well, they
amounts of
couldn't
credit,
afford
4
it.
times the amount of the wage or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everything ended up crashing, and it's the same old thing with like people coming into the country, the immigration problem. If you overload it, it's
Something's
just
gonna break.
Something's going to break eventually. It's
Yeah.
common sense.
Because you can't catch
you know,
up. If you let all those
Gotta be
people in,
controlled.
it might take you 20, 30 years to get to a nice level where you
Where
can cope with all
everything's
those
caught
people.
up. But
we
by
can
that
build the
time,
houses.
they've had 5 kids each
Exactly.
from each family,
And you're
and then
playing
suddenly
catch-up.
you're chasing your tail, and all that's happening is
It's only ever
this
gonna
body's
grow,
getting fatter and
population.
fatter and fatter, and the tail seems to be getting further away each time.
Yeah,
Tom,
that's the
Are you
issue.
going to say anything, Thomas?
Yeah,
Is it-
eventually we'll have no like Greenland left. It'll just be houses and factories and everything. If We need to cap it at some point.
That's the thing, quality of life.
Well, I think this is why
Is it?
people voted to leave. Because they thought, oh,
Yeah.
that'll sort the immigration
think it
problem
is.
out, that'll sort the country out. Because the people who are working should be the ones that are asked to see, to solve the problem, stop letting people in. Too many people, I'm not talking about everybody, people who are coming in that have got real major problems in their countries, fair enough. God, bring them in, let's help them. But it's just gone bonkers, hasn't it?
Yeah, you've got to have a limit. Apparently, this guy told me at work, I don't know about this for sure, but he said that maybe we can add this in later. But he said that we could have capped the amount of immigration from EU countries. So this free
movement of
free
people.
movement of people, where we've been getting most of our immigrants from Eastern Europe, probably. Apparently we could have capped that, but it costs a lot of money to do it. That's what he said to me. I don't know if that's true. We maybe need to look into that. But so we could have maybe done that without Brexit. Without voting to leave, we could have done that anyway. If you think about it, some of the other countries in Europe, I think Austria's one, where our uncle lived for a while. Apparently,
they have a cap. Yeah.
Well, I think it's extremely difficult to be able to live there.
Yeah,
for an
they
English
don't
person.
even like English people.
If you want to buy a house, and it's really difficult.
Same with Australians. I mean, the Australians, I think, got 20-something million in the whole of Australia. Obviously, the whole of the middle of the Australia you can't
Is
live in 'cause
useless,
it's too
yeah.
hot.
Most of it, yeah.
In this country, and we are compared to the size of Australia, what size are we? Probably
20th,
Yeah, yeah.
20th of the
30th
size.
of
Or
the
We
whatever.
size.
think France is 6 times bigger than us with 2/3 of the population.
Same with
That's
North
France.
America. They've got something like I don't know. I'm guessing. We'd have to Google.
I think
this.
they've
Oh,
got 260, 70,000 people, million people.
maybe Tom get on Google on our friendly neighbourhood search engine and
But
just check
this
the
is
figures.
it.
but
You look at us as
you can always drop it.
as a country in terms of population to actual size. Like I just said, France. I think their population is slightly less than ours, but they are genuinely 6 times the size.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we could talk for England about this.
Yeah.
It's like traffic. There's so many people on the roads
Yeah.
now. We have not got. It's the sewer system as well. We have not got. We've got Victorian sewer system. Just cannot cope the amount of waste that's. I don't know if everybody saw. Was it the London Underground or whatever it was when they're doing all the new sewer system and that?
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk all night about this. But should we have a quick
It goes
break?
down to that. It goes down back to that media hype thing that
Well, the media ball thing, yeah.
we don't always get the true story, do we?
no.
Yeah, we've kind of deviated onto Brexit here, but I think it's worth talking about because it's what everybody's thinking.
Well, to be honest, I think that I genuinely think that the whole Brexit thing is probably going to be one of the most life-changing decisions that's going to happen for my generation.
Yeah.
For my dad's generation, without being horrible, my dad's going to be dead in 20 years. So it's probably not going to. It's not really going to matter too much.
It's our children that are going to
That's
suffer.
it. So it's like my kids are going to suffer.
I mean, it's a huge topic because it's like work and not having enough work,
Yeah.
technology taking over,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. You could go on
Or
forever.
the import costs go up, or the food will go up. that we
Exactly.
import.
That's it.
Less
Yeah, that's
jobs.
the worry, isn't it? Yeah.
Because they could
The car
stick
industry.
like 70% on all our imports if they wanted to.
Here comes.
If we got a bad deal, if we didn't, what is it, no deal Brexit when they do what they want and we have no say? Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
we basically just get bent over and shafted, yeah.
Yeah,
they
if
can
there's
do
no deal, yeah. But
Yeah.
They could say like, right, you're paying double tax on everything you import from
Yeah, and
France.
they'll just cripple us, they'll just run us into the ground.
Yeah.
But regardless of what happens is, everyone must realise that the EU are going to make an example out of us, because if they make it easy for us, there's going to be a lot of countries going, do you know what, sod you
Well, that's
guys.
right. they can't
That's the
make it
thing.
too
If we
easy, can they?
remain in, what is going to happen then? Either way, we're shafted.
Yeah.
I know.
They'll punish us for having a stab at going against them. And if we walk out, they're going to like, we're going to make you martyrs. We're going to hammer you
Yeah,
over this.
who knows?
It's like a business. Someone threatens to leave your business
They make your life hell.
and then they decide they want to stay. It
That's
won't be the
it.
same for them.
But then again, some of the
That lasts for more.
European countries, the EU countries like maybe Spain, Greece, Italy to a degree, big holiday destinations for British people, millions of British people, especially in Spain.
Yeah.
So, and their economies took a real bad hit since the
Yeah.
recession. So, they kind of need us to keep going there. So they
I
can't
mean,
make it too
Greece had,
difficult for us to
I
go.
don't know the details, but Greece had the massive problems with
Yeah.
withdrawing cash, just simple things like
Yeah.
that from
Yeah.
ATM machines.
Terrible.
They just stopped it because they run out of printing notes. They could not print the money fast enough.
I mean, I'm really hoping if we do end up with, like, say, a no deal or a hard or whatever, I'm hoping, you know, we can do what businesses do, just go, yeah, a bit of a backhander here, lads, come on, we'll sort this out, we'll skirt around these.
I think that's what might happen in the end.
I really hope so.
As a country, I think we'd be alright with if we actually used our own resources, our own food and things.
Yeah. Well, I think this is it.
Stuff.
It's rose-tinted glasses. They want to go back to how it used to be.
They want to go back to being more independent.
If we ate seasonal and didn't have like avocados 12 months of the year and stuff.
Yeah, strawberries in Christmas time.
Yeah, just ate seasonal and didn't import.
Which we could do
foreign
that.
Can you imagine what's going to happen to millennials if we run out of avocados? It's going to be gone. There'll be mass suicide, man.
There'd be less population then, wouldn't there?
No, that's good. Let's take the avocados away.
So, putting all the political things aside, what might happen, and none of us really know. Do you like being part of the EU? So this is like an identity thing.
This topic's turned from media bullying to the EU discussion, but that's kind of cool because it kind of stems from that anyway.
For me personally, I don't really give a shit. I look out for me and mine. I don't care what they do over the pond. Do what the hell they like. Someone leave me alone. I couldn't give them monkeys.
Yeah, as long as they're not.
As long as the decisions that they make in the big ivory tower doesn't affect my life too much.
That's why I think the lines get blurred. I mean, you go to work, you do your job, come home.
That's it.
They should be doing their job, go home. Not trying to deviate into every little pocket of every person in the country. I think you just got to do your job. You know, employ the right people. I don't know. It's all very complicated.
It's also all very corrupt. There's lots of lies. And there will never ever be money. And there will never be a truth, because no one will ever because everyone's version of the truth is different. Let's say we all go through the same event, we'll all remember things slightly differently. So the truth is never an actual representation of my truth or Paul's truth or Tom's truth. So everyone's going to have their own version of the truth.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So for me personally, you know, I know it's going to hit me at some point indirectly, this whole thing, but there's not an awful lot I can do about it now. I'm a welder, man. I'm not a politician. Yeah. I'm not going to worry about it. Just let him get on with it.
Well, that's the reason.
We've had our say, haven't we? When we voted.
That's it. At the end of the day, if we get shouted, I'll emigrate to Australia. I've got the qualifications. Sod the rest of you. You can go as well. You might be able to go. I think you can go because you've got a doctor. We can all leave.
I've got what? A doctorate?
Doctorate?
No, not a doctorate. Sorry, you've got a degree. Sorry, uneducated welder here. Bang hammer. You know.
In some ways, it feels like a step back when you look at it from the point of view of like what happened during the two wars, First and the Second World War, which was largely in Europe.
They were kind of lied to. This is, coming to war, it's great, and then it all went to pot.
Yeah, it's funny because I watched a good documentary on it all, and it showed you what all
the publishing of it.
Yeah, that's it. They were showing you what the public was shown and what was actually happening, and it was two different worlds.
Yeah, but the fact that we came together as a European Union rather than being split and fighting. And
when did we actually go into the EU?
It was straight. No, I thought it was straight. No, didn't it start with the treaties of Versailles?
I think so.
I think that was kind of the roots of it.
Formed in the 60s or
1960s,
something like that.
So it was obviously
40
post-war.
50 years, I think, post-war. But I think some things happened leading up to it from the Second World War onwards.
It's always a slow process.
Because the British it helped in Germany after the war, helped them get back on their feet with the factories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The car factories and things like that.
Yeah.
The British went over and sort of helped, and this feels like a little bit like a step backwards in some ways.
Maybe it's just trying to shake it up because everything's gone to pot, and that was the whole point of it. Tom's showing me when we joined the European Union was 1957.
Well, you weren't a million miles off.
Post-war,
It was the Treaty of Rome that started it off.
Oh, was it?
So it was a treaty of some sort.
What's the treaty?
You know what the Versailles one is? That First World War?
No idea.
That could be First World. I should know this. I watched a lot of documentaries, but
yeah, I have, but a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm no good at retaining the information. No. I like watching these things, but
I think it's. I think now we've just got to sit back and see what happens. As a general public.
I'm fed up of hearing about it.
Yeah.
I'm fed up of hearing about Trumpy Boy as well. Every morning you put the news on.
Well, yeah.
Donald Trump's done
He's
this.
offended
So
someone
what?
on Twitter, or he's got
Yeah.
another sex
Every
tape
single
or
day, but
something.
the problem is they're following his every word because they're scared of him, aren't they?
It's not going to be long till someone takes a sniper to him. It's going to be another Ronald Reagan job. I can see it.
Ronald Reagan.
Not Ronald Reagan. Who's the guy who got shot?
Clinton.
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
JFK.
I don't know. Bloody
Just
Americans
killing them
don't mean
all.
out to me. I just know one of them got shot in the head. But,
JFK, yeah.
yeah, JFK,
1963,
sorry, it was him I was thinking of in the top of the Cadillac or whatever. But yeah, there's going to be someone sat with a 50 cal a mile away and he's going to ping him off at some point.
Well,
But, yeah.
But why can't you be part of the European Union but still decide your own laws?
well, that's why I can't.
So if you don't want
understand.
to let people in, is that just that whole?
Is it all linked to all the human rights and all that? It's all.
That's where, and another thing actually.
This topic's hitting 40 minutes.
Well,
Really, that one?
well, another thing
Well,
that's
it's a
happening
valid
as well
point.
is, believe it or not, if we come out of the European Union, it's possible that we're going to lose a lot of working rights because a lot of those are imposed from the European Union.
A lot of good things came from it.
Yeah, that's what I
in
mean.
terms
There's lots of cross
Swings
lines.
and roundabouts,
yeah.
isn't it? There's good things and bad
of
things.
health and safety in that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not a fan of health and safety personally,
but working conditions.
Yeah,
and
that's it, yeah.
Holidays and
but this is what I mean. As a general public, this is obviously myself included, I do not think as a British general public we are smart enough to make this decision. It's got to be
I
left
think-
to
I
people
think
that
it's
really
not-
know
yeah,
what
I
they're
think
on
you're
about.
A ridiculous decision in the sense that it is huge. Isn't
yeah,
it?
no one knows
It's-
for
it's
sure
like-
what's going to happen.
Even the experts
Can't
don't
you
know.
just change some of the laws that surround it rather than coming out of it
Well,
completely?
yeah, rather than just try come out of Europe or stay. That's
Yeah.
just like such a big
It's
decision.
like either turn the oven off or leave it on, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's not like cook your tea.
no.
You know, just leave it on and just cook your tea. Just
We
I
weren't
don't
told enough to start with, I don't think.
that's
No,
the problem.
no,
We've
no,
had no
10% we weren't told.
information.
No one was told enough.
That's when it goes back to the media bull. Depending on where you've read your sources, they sorted
Yeah,
out their version of events.
that's
You're
it.
a noisy bugger.
Quite loud.
You're a loud voice. Loud.
Yeah, they
man.
all had their version of events.
Let's just go off on one. Tom, you've already seen these figures. We'll do this with Alex and Chris.
I can't remember
Guess
what
the
they-
famous person's age. Let's just wrap this up because we're going into
we
the
could go on
fourth.
for hours.
So,
with
Forty-
that.
me and you
minute.
especially.
Right, can anybody guess how old Arnie Schwarzenegger is?
Oh, I'm going to go with 74.
Get out! Get to the chopper!
That's what
I'm going to go with 74.
Okay, Chris?
Oh, 69.
Tom, you know the answer, don't you?
No, roughly.
You know the answer because you read it last week.
Yeah, that was last week.
Been to bed since. He's actually 71, so you're not far off. Get out! Get to the chopper! I love how he said. Noel Edmonds.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Is he the one who used to wear the stupid shirts on Deal or No Deal?
Yeah.
So he's that generation that knows him from Deal or No Deal.
There you go, you see.
Don't
Nobody
know
knows him.
how
No,
to
from-
I
party.
just know him from his stupid
Noel's
shirts.
House
Mr.
Parties,
Blobby.
The Gunkin.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember Mr. Blobby. Yeah, he used to scare me a bit.
It's a bit creepy.
There
him,
was a
I-
giant pink foam thing with yellow spots.
I don't know. He must be 77.
70.
Hello.
Poor bloke.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought he was about on death's door. I've not seen him for ages. I thought he was dead.
He's on I'm a Celebrity.
jungle.
No, that's why I brought
Oh,
it up 'cause
God.
he's on Celebrity.
No, I don't watch that.
Well, I don't want to know you. I just want to know what his age is. So you think 77? Chris?
77.
65.
69.
Yeah?
This is irrelevant to this podcast, but I just thought it'd be funny to end
Oh,
on
yeah.
it. One last one. This one, I couldn't believe it when I saw this. Noel Gallagher.
Oh, I've read this, so I'm not.
So obviously he's the one
read
that
this
does
last
Yeah, yeah.
this.
Oh god. I don't know. 46.
No.
Not bad.
Actually, Liam Gallagher is 46.
Oh, I get them mixed up. They're both as bad as each other, but yeah, get mixed
Yeah.
up.
Well, Liam's the main singer, and Noel was the one on guitar. He wrote the songs.
Yeah, Noel's the better singer out of the two, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you reckon he is? 46? What do you reckon, Chris?
I know the answer, I'm afraid.
Oh, you know the answer. Tom,
I
you
read
know
it
the
last
answer.
week.
Tom, put your phone down.
I've got an extra
Swine. You're a
additional
swine, isn't you,
age
George?
to ask afterwards.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
I
Noel
say
Gallagher is
51.
actually 51.
Oh right.
Shut up.
Guess.
Go on then, Tom, give us one.
Donald Trump. How old?
Ah,
Too old because he's still alive.
67.
Okay.
I was going to say about that. I'd go 66.
58.
66.
Nice.
Live on air.
We'll go.
72,
Really?
Come off it,
according
really.
to our local
Friendly
search
neighbourhood
engine.
search engine.
72.
Oh, bastard.
It's on the internet, so it's true.
Oh, let's go another one.
Go on then, let's find another one. Alex, you can come up with one. Come on.
Have you got one, Alex?
72.
I'll
How can
talk.
someone at that age
Sorry
run a
about that.
country?
Alex didn't even know how old I was, to be fair.
I don't kid. Age is just a number to me. It doesn't really
That
matter.
kid, yeah.
Unless
We're
you're
all going to die at
72.
some point. What's it matter? It's not a competition.
Some 72-year-olds can't even wipe their own arse. How can he run a country?
I'm sorry, what?
Some 72-year-olds can't even wipe their arse. So how
I
can
thought you
he?
said some 17-year-olds.
He's a billionaire.
Really
How
are
can he
in
run a
trouble.
country at that age?
He's a billionaire, can get somebody to wipe his arse for him.
Yeah, but his mind can't be in any state.
It's just weird anyway.
We've got any more
Yeah,
for
but he doesn't do
I've
it
got
thinking for himself. He's got a team of people around and telling
He's
him
got
what to say.
satellites in that wig
Yeah.
that like beam things into his brain.
Go on then, Chris. Last one.
Tom Hanks.
Ooh, 55.
No, he's going to be older
I'm
than
going
that,
to go
surely.
surprisingly old.
Okay, 55.
I'm going to go with 66.
I think it's 68.
No, 68. 62.
Yeah, Alex was nearest on that. That's quite a
62.
surprise, actually. He's been around forever.
Yeah,
I mean, Big was that the 80s?
big. That was on there when I searched it on the friendly search engine.
I got me for that.
Tom Hanks' age, big, it said.
I love
How
this
old was he
friendly
when he did big? He's got to be about 37. Let's have a look. 35.
This is the longest podcast we've ever done. This
I
is
don't-
45 minutes and 11 seconds.
He was supposed to be 35 when he did big, but I don't know if that. He played a 35-year-old man.
It's
so
like
it
Harrison
might be-
Ford when he did the first Star Wars film. He was in late 30s or early 40s. Because he used to be a
Really?
carpenter. He was a carpenter before
When he
died.
did Temple of Doom, was it? Or
No, first Star Wars,
Indiana Jones
1977 was the first Star Wars. I
And
think.
it was it. And it was
Late
40 odd
30s
then.
or 40s, yeah, I'm sure it
Bloody
was.
hell.
stuff? 'Cause even in Indiana Jones, he looked like late 30s.
I don't know what
40s.
it is, but I'm fascinated. I can't speak now. Fascinated with people's ages. I don't know what it is. I like to guess people's ages. I'm weird.
Might have to come up with some more then for next time.
I think it's really difficult though because you know, there are some people out there where like in certain lights they might look 15 years older than they are. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a girl I know. She's probably I think she's about 30. Well, I say a girl. She's 34, 35. I genuinely, if I didn't know her, I'd think she was about 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's people I see who are 17. I think are older than me.
Yeah, the bold and.
It's
you know,
like my
isn't there,
mate.
and-
My mate, he's 22,
And the
but
women.
because he's bald and because he's piled on a bit of weight,
Yeah.
you know,
It looks older than he is, yeah.
he looks mid-30s.
People always say that about me. Somebody at work did say I was 29. And I'm like, you can move in.
My dad's always said that about you. He says he can never work out.
Christopher looks older than me.
Yeah, he does.
My brother.
Sorry.
Chris.
A bit of facial hair always makes you look older.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Beard's coming on because it's cold.
I'm
I
planning
always
on
think you
shaving
look a
mine
lot
off
younger than me.
over Christmas.
But I think
Tom's
that's
got a baby face. He doesn't
Yeah.
look 43.
No.
What would you
All
look
right.
like with a beard, Tom?
30.
probably better than me 'cause mine grows crap.
I don't know.
I keep trying. It's not
You
happening.
have to shave up. That's the trick. Shave up.
I keep
I
trying
told you.
all that. I keep trying all
There's some
that.
truth in it. Isn't
I've
there?
been shaving since I was 15. I know.
Just don't shave, it'll get there.
No, it just turns into bum fluff. You
Yeah,
got to shave
yeah.
up. You got to shave it every couple of days.
I might try.
It does fill out though. Finally, it does actually fill all the way around now. Where
Not dot to dot anymore.
no, it's not dot to dot like it used to be. But my dad couldn't grow a full beard till he was about 26, 27. So that's where I get it from.
We should do it. We should shave New Year's Eve and not shave for a month until February, the whole of January, and then see who wins.
It took me
See where
ages
we
to
get.
get this bit.
Yeah.
I was going to.
It's taken me ages to get it to actually go round. I don't miss losing
It's a
it.
commitment.
In case it don't grow back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. In case it don't come back.
get one of them
That's
fake
why I'm
ones.
scared. It's
Like
shaving
it
all
all.
the side of my head. Because I'm on about having my hair done like a Viking,
Like-
keep it all long and have it all shaved.
Like me.
But I'm terrified of doing it in case it never comes back.
Yeah, that'd be silly.
I'll shave on my own then and see what happens.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I was planning on doing it anyway.
Well,
I've not
shave it
shaved it
out.
off
You get
completely
cold.
for years and years.
Yeah, you'll get
Shave
cold.
it.
You know when you shave your beard off,
Yeah.
that's it. You get
I
freezing.
think I just want my skin to breathe for a little while. You know.
It is
Mm.
nice for a
Yeah.
few days afterwards.
If anything else though, the worst bit, which is the worst bit to shave?
Me.
Adam's apple for me.
Is it really?
Definitely, yeah. I really have to
You
be
ain't got no
careful.
there.
Yeah, but, well, my hair don't go that far
pointy.
down, it stops.
Moustache. Because I do it up. I always nick myself.
Oh, I don't
It's
do
a
it all.
nightmare.
You can't do a moustache all.
Yeah, I do.
You know.
know.
I do it down first, and then I do it up.
Oh, I just go down.
Really?
That's why I'm full, baby.
I do up here, and then on the sides.
Yeah.
That works better than
Down
I-
everywhere and up on the neck.
See, I never shave it all
I
the
do
way
it up
off.
and down on all.
I just keep trimming mine on number one on my shaver.
I trim.
You're
but
not
I
shaving
cut
then, are you?
this.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I just trim mine
You're not
constantly.
encouraging your follicles, man. Should we wrap this up?
Apparently, it's not
shades.
true. It's just it makes
I don't
it
think it's
sharper
true. I don't
if
think
you
it's
keep
true.
shaving. I don't think
I
it makes
just
it-
think it's you've either got it or you
Yeah,
haven't.
that's it.
Some people have 5 o'clock shadow at 3 o'clock, don't they?
There's a lad at our school who had a full-on good man beard at like 14.
Yeah, yeah,
Proper.
yeah.
Like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, my mate will like it.
Probably
if you
plugs it
whisk
in
it.
at the end of the night and grows in a plop
No
pot.
one did it at my school.
There was one lad that
Oh, there's one lad, yeah. There's always one that's got hair where he shouldn't
Yeah,
have.
but it's like there was always that one girl in year who had massive bazongas bigger than all the teachers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I remember,
And
I
every
remember
sing-
the one.
Yeah, I remember mine.
13, 14
Yeah,
years
so
old.
I actually
How
remember.
do you spell bazonga?
It's got a Z in it somewhere. But I actually remember one of the funniest comments about one of the best comments I ever heard of, from a lad to this girl was he put his hand up in the middle of the lesson. We were on about it was biology. I remember this. He goes, "So I won't say a name, but so and so. Do you like put water on them at night so they grow? Is it like a plant?" And I mean, I'm not joking. These things were huge, man. I mean, I'm surprised she didn't have to have like some sort of contraption on wheels to hold them up. Still
Scaffolding.
massive, yeah. Because she was teeny.
Mm.
Oh,
It's just weird, isn't
Yeah.
it? I don't think there is any logic to what size they are anyway, is there? I don't
no,
think.
no. I think it's just what you've got, isn't
They're
it?
just fun bags for blokes, though, aren't they?
That's it. Yeah. They don't actually. Well, I suppose when you have kids, but to men, it's just like, oh, boobs.
You have kids, it ruins it.
Yeah.
It's just food. It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Food, you don't get a look in.
I don't know. I think with men, I've found.
Well, I've had this conversation before, like boob or bum, man.
Oh yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
I think what I always found is
Tape's still rolling, be careful.
without intentionally doing it. I mean, I used to go out with a girl whose mum had a rather large set of baps, and every time I spoke to her, I couldn't help but be talking to the twins on the chest and not face. And I actually remember once she goes, "Alex, face is up here, love." Sorry. I had no idea what she was talking to me about. I was just watching these things jiggle in front of me. I was
You're
like,
just intrigued, aren't you?
Sometimes you just can't help but your eyes just go down.
Yeah.
You just can't help it. You really have to struggle to.
Yeah.
I
And I'm
think
not a boob man,
the
but-
less you're trying to do something, the more you do it.
Yeah.
Do you think
True.
women do it at men's groinal region?
I don't.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
that.
no,
Let's have
I
a quick
think-
glance
no,
to
I
see if
think they
anything's
do.
there.
I think it depends on the woman.
Yeah,
like, it
Women are
depends on
allowed
the
to stare at your arse.
Yeah.
Giggle with their friends.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that arse. Or they're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's cool. We don't give a shit anyway.
Yeah, we do it
We're not
anyway.
allowed to do that, are we? Really? Not like it's
Well,
offensive. If
I'll
we
be
do
honest
it.
with you, I've actually been out on a night out and the girl's coach goes, "You've got a really nice arse." I'm like, "Cheers, love." Yeah, yours isn't bad. Your mate's is better though. And that doesn't go down particularly well, but it's offensive for me to say that. But they're allowed to come up and like ogle me. It's like, well,
Yeah,
no,
it's
it
just
works
like,
both ways. If you want to take me home, you've got to work harder than that, love. Sorry. Well, I'm pretty easy at the
That's
moment,
why
to
you've
be
been
fair.
single for how long?
Anything will do.
That's it. If it's warm. Probably best to wrap up on that note, gentlemen.
Okay, say good night, gents.
Good night, people who may be listening.
Good night.
If only you could hear the outtakes. We've had to keep this clean as possible because we do have Alex in the band, but that's the end of episode number 6. So we'll see you on the next time. Cheers, guys. Bye. Well, that's this week's episode of Musicians and Mancaves done. So please share this podcast with your friends and family. Without you guys, we cannot keep putting these out. So a bit of support, a quick thumbs up, or a little comment at the bottom. That will really help us so we can put some more of these out each week. So you can subscribe on our YouTube channel. This will also give you the heads up of when the next episode is coming out. Or you can check us out on Facebook. In fact, the YouTube channel is Dreaded Monkey UK. Facebook channel is Dreaded Monkey Music. And the Instagram page is at dreaded_monkey_official. So that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, the usual. We've had an absolute blast doing this, so it's been great fun and a big learning curve, so we look forward to doing lots more in the future for you. So one last thing, we are hoping to get these out on the big podcast forums or whatever you want to call them. That's iTunes, Podbean, places like that. All links will go on our social media pages in the upcoming episodes. So, well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Toodaloo!